The Houston Texans finished up their time in West Virginia with a scrimmage for day 13 of training camp. It was a good one. Lots to take away. An unfortunate injury to one of the pieces of this defense, hoping to be the best defense in all of football. We'll get to it, presented by my friends at draftkits.co. Every league needs a customized, reusable draft board from my friends at draftkits.co. Check out the description for more information on that. Let's start with CJ Gardner-Johnson's injury. He goes to defend John Mechie on a pass, and Gardner-Johnson goes down. The Texans had to cart him off. Everybody stopped practice. They were all kneeling. A lot of teammates went over and talked to him before they carted him off. He left with the towel over his head. It didn't look good. In a best-case scenario, he's missing a little bit of time. You don't even want to think about the worst-case scenario for CJ Gardner-Johnson. He's never had any sort of major knee injuries in his career. He had a major knee injury scare a couple of years ago when he was on the Detroit Lions, but ultimately he was okay. It was a tough situation to watch today. DeMeco Ryans called it heartbreaking. The Texans took their time, got him adjusted, got him on the card, got him off the field, let a lot of his teammates, all of his teammates wanted to come say anything to him, come talk to him. DeMeco Ryans talked about it after practice. They don't go old school. They're not one of those, hey, move the ball down, let's get it going type of teams. They wanted everybody to understand the gravity of the situation and also understand that work continues. Now, what happens in the immediacy with CJ Gardner-Johnson gone? Well, MJ Stewart filled in for him at that backup safety role, but all of a sudden, that safety room that looked like it had some pretty good depth and some players that you might be able to count on, it got very thin very quick. Jalen Reed, the rookie from Penn State, he's been injured for a few weeks. He hasn't been practicing. Don't know when he's going to be able to get back on the field, and even when he does get back on the field, he's a rookie. Jimmy Ward hasn't been cleared to practice yet, coming back from off-season foot surgery, plus he has the off-the-field legal issue that also has to get solved before this all gets figured out for Jimmy Ward, and he's able to play football in 2025. And so you look at MJ Stewart, you look at Russ Yeast, and you look at trying to just figure out what this safety situation is going to be for the Texans going forward. It was thin. It got thinner with CJ Gardner-Johnson's injury, and obviously as they wait tests, they'll find out ultimately what the final outcome is with his injury. Looked to be a knee injury of some sort from where I was standing. Obviously, we'll know more when it officially gets reported from somebody here in the near future. But that was a tough part of the scrimmage. You hated to see it. It was a tough one for all the players on the Texans to deal with, but the work had to continue, and that's ultimately what they did. Let's go to C.J. Stroud. He had some really, really good moments and some not so good moments, like all them hiccups throughout the course of this one. I thought the offense actually had a pretty decent day against this first-team defense when they were able to get out there, get everybody out there, run some plays, stack some stuff together. Now, it wasn't amazing, okay? Like, it wasn't just like, oh, they're dicing this defense up. It wasn't that, but they were able to string some things together over the course of a few different drives and find themselves with some positives coming out of this scrimmage against their incredible defense, even before and after CJ Gardner-Johnson was out there on the field. I think most notably for Stroud, he had a couple of really nice throws with pressure coming down on him. There was one where pressure was coming in, and he just kind of changed the arm angle a little bit, got it out there, and just whoop, Brevin Jordan down the field. Nice. He had another one over on the left side where there was a lot of pressure coming in, and I believe one of the defenders was advocating that he would have sacked CJ Stroud in a live rep. No dice for you on that one, because Stroud got rid of the ball. And Christian Kirk, a quick one on third down, a lot of the quick action to avoid having to deal with some of that pressure. Then the hiccups that were there. There was the miss deep right to Nico Collins, where Nico Collins had to sort of adjust on the ball. Ultimately, he ended up dropping it, so bad job by both guys. It should have been an easy throw from Stroud. Should have been an easy catch for Collins. They don't hook up the very next play. He's too far in front of Dalton Schultz, and unfortunately, they don't connect. But the good parts definitely outweighed the bad parts overall for the offense and for Stroud. A couple of quick decisions to get rid of the ball and just take what was there and keep things on schedule, keep things moving. We felt like He didn't do that as much last year as he could have. So we've seen it a little bit early on, and they finish up with a beauty. Just a nice little rocket to Nico Collins sliding in the end zone right after Kamari Lassard had a really nice play against Nico Collins in the end zone. Then went right back to that matchup. It worked out for the offense. So pretty decent day for the offense, though. Some hiccups that CJ Stroud is more than capable of making some of those throws. He didn't make them in this one, but hopefully when the games count, when there's actually games, regardless of if it's preseason or regular season, or when it's joint practices, hopefully he's making those throws, and that's something for the offense to build on. You could build on your league year after year with a customized, reusable draft board from my friends at draftkits.co. My description has more information, CODY25 to get 10% off. A Texans fan owns this business. They're based out of Texas. Man, you got to get a customized, reusable draft board for your fantasy draft. And once you have the draft board every year, you just buy the stickers. They go right to your house. Don't wait. Don't take too much time here. You got to get these orders in, get these customized draft boards built and put together. It's so easy on the website. I did it last year for my big league. We love it. We're using it again this year. I know you're going to love it as well, but don't wait. You're running out of time to get that customized reusable draft board from draftkits.co. Let's talk about this offensive line. Let's talk about the O-line. Felt like they had a pretty decent day. The expectations, pretty low. Did they meet those expectations? Yeah, I'd say they actually went a little bit above those expectations. They had some success pushing the defensive line around on the ground. Couple of short yardage plays that went the offense's way, opened up a hole or two. It wasn't some sort of massive performance on the ground from the offensive line and the running backs, which, by the way, no Nick Chubb. D'Amico Ryan says he'll be good to go here in a few days, and no Dameon Pierce in this one. So it was Dare Gumbuale and Woody Marks primarily with CJ Stroud and the starting offensive line out there. Let's talk about that line. Left to right, Ariante Ursery at left tackle, Laken Tomlinson at left guard, Jake Andrews at center. At right guard, you had Juice Scruggs, and at right tackle, you had Titus Howard. Later on in practice, they swapped out Scruggs for Ed Ingram and then swapped out Tomlinson for Scruggs. But for the most part, that was the line that I initially said protecting CJ Stroud, and they had some good moments. Now, there were some moments where you would have liked a little bit more. A couple of Willie Anderson plays, a couple of Tommy Togiai stuffs at the line of scrimmage. Azeez Al-Shire read things really well, darted through for a tackle for a loss at one point. Henry To'o got home on a blitz. Jalen Petrie got home on a blitz. But I actually noted that some of these sacks that ended up were coverage sacks. There was just nowhere to go. And then eventually the defensive line got there. It did not look anywhere close, really, for most of the practice like it has looked previously in some of the team periods in some of these practices. D'Amico Ryan said he felt like the offensive line's gotten better. They've been able to build here in West Virginia, and Thursday in this scrimmage, that was their best day as an offensive line. And they got to really get into a rhythm, run some, go up the field after you make a play, after you get the first down. They reset the chains. You walk up there. You really kind of get to do actual football stuff in this. And the offensive line held up pretty darn well. And pretty darn well is going to be enough for most of the season, but you still would love to figure out exactly who those five guys are, start building that chemistry and cohesion. Cam Robinson did not participate in this one. He watched. Of course, he got injured the first few days at the Greenbrier, so he's been watching. No return date on when he is set to be back. And let's finish it up with the wide receiver standout of the day. I bet you're thinking it's Jaden Higgins. It's not. I bet you're thinking it's Jalen Knoll. It's not. If you'd guessed Iowa State as the school, you would have got it right. It was Xavier Hutchinson. Really nice day. Had one of the plays of the day. It was a Davis Mills second team offense unit. Mills ran a play action, rolled out to his left. Hutchinson came across the field. Nobody near him. 10-19, and 19 turned it up, took it to the house for a score. One of the best plays, probably the best play of the day when it came to the wide receivers. It was an incredible job by Hutchinson. He'd later catch one from CJ Stroud towards the back end of this scrimmage. I don't know if Xavier Hutchinson is for sure ahead of Jaden Higgins and Jalen Knoll, but he was a better player than Jaden Higgins and Jalen Knoll in this scrimmage. Now, it's one scrimmage. He's obviously played in the NFL, knows what to expect. They're rookies. They're still learning. I could definitely see a scenario where they surpass him, but I do wonder if the confidence level in him, especially with some of the outside stuff, is just a little bit higher than that of the rookies right now. Certainly time to change. And obviously, if you believe there's more talent there with Knoll and Higgins, I do, then that will eventually bear out and be enough to take care of the situation. But Xavier Hutchinson was awesome in this, and it'd be a huge bonus and benefit if somehow, some way, Xavier Hutchinson ended up being a consistent, reliable contributor for the Houston Texans team in 2025. He was in this scrimmage. Those are the big takeaways from the scrimmage. More on Houston football here on the channel, SNL, with myself and Landry Locker for the Locker Room tomorrow on the SNL channel. And just really appreciate everybody for the great response to the work here in West Virginia this week. I'm in the Charlotte airport right now recording this. So appreciate everybody for the likes and the subscribes to SNL, to here on Houston Football with Cody Stoots. Greatly appreciate it. Y'all are the best. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I can't wait till we talk Texans again soon.